Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the first 3 episodes of Star Wars The Bad Batch, the animated series. So for starters, episode 1 of The Bad Batch. I thought it was great. I thought it was one of the best animated Star Wars things we've ever seen. The length of it was incredible.
That's what she said!
The fact that we got an hour and 15 minutes of new Bad Batch content was just amazing to me. We hadn't gotten something that long in animated form since the Rebels finale or the Clone Wars movie, which people have opinions on, but I personally love. Getting to see Caleb Doom / Kanan Jarrus as a Padawan and watching him experience Order 66 in a new way. Mind you, I've read the Kanan Jarrus comics that were produced by Marvel, and honestly, I prefer the Bad Batch version way more. Getting to see it and having the Bad Batch involved was just such a genius and really cool way of kind of connecting the two shows. And you can really just feel the weight of Order 66 in this moment. Like, Revenge of the Sith does, of course, like an amazing job with it, but breaking down Order 66 on these smaller levels with these smaller Jedi and these individual moments is really good. Like, they really make you feel like in Revenge of the Sith, it's Jedi dead, Jedi dead, Jedi dead, right? Like, it just goes from Jedi to Jedi. In these smaller moments, you really get to feel the weight because it just focuses in on 1 or 2 characters, and I much prefer that. Getting to see Palpatine's Revenge of the Sith speech in this was awesome. The First Galactic Empire! Seeing the clones just all lined up like that, and then the Bad Batch right in the middle, completely surrounded by everything. It's honestly kind of a great metaphor for the show because they're just so engulfed in this issue. They're clones, but they're not clones, you know what I mean? Like, they're different from the rest. You can really feel the weight of the galaxy changing in moments like these through the show. Like, the way that the show kind of like makes you feel that the galaxy is really turning a page in the book is just so well done. You know, hats off to Dave, of course. And then the Bad Batch returns to Kamino to be tested by Tarkin. Tarkin's awesome, of course, and this action scene where they switch to the live rounds, like, I didn't expect that, but it was a really great way to show the power of the Bad Batch when they finally, you know, team up and use all of their abilities together. We see some of that in the Clone Wars, but we get to see it again in the Bad Batch, and who doesn't want to see it again? And it was awesome! Watching the team struggle with Crosshair being an agent of the Empire has just been really cool, but also really sad, because you can really feel the sadness in Hunter and Wrecker and Tech's voice, knowing that they've lost a brother to this, and for reasons that they don't even know fully yet. It's really kind of sad. I do think that Crosshair will either turn good again or he will be killed by the end of the show. And then last but definitely not least is Omega. She is the newest character in this show. And she definitely has some sort of dark secret about her, I think. I personally think that she's a Force-sensitive clone, that she hasn't discovered her potential yet. She's obviously a project of the Kaminoans and not the Empire, I think, because Lama Su seems very protective of her. And the way that she kind of picks up abilities along the way kind of seems like she either has some sort of Force sensitivity, or she kind of has a collection of the powers of the Bad Batch invested inside of her. Like, she has powers from each individual one. There was a lot of questions started by the end of the first episode, but you cannot deny that it really got you excited for the second, and we only had to wait a couple days for it. When it comes to the second episode, this one just... it was good, but it felt so short compared to the hour and 15 minutes we got, you know, just a couple days prior, and then we get, you know, like 28 minutes or however long this one was. It was good. It felt very kind of filler, even though I don't like to use that word describing Star Wars, because honestly it's Star Wars. Like, none of it should be called filler. But This one had a very Mandalorian or Rebels feel to it. It was very like, go pit stop along the way, complete the task and move on, which is very Mando. And then on top of that, like the way that everyone was dressed, like Wrecker in the Seleucamai clothes, and getting to see Cut, which is a character that we've known before, but getting to see again in a different show. That's a very Rebels move. And seeing the clones kind of like walk around in the background like in pairs, which is something that we see all the time in Rebels. And I just thought it was really cool. Like Dave's I can see you, Dave. He's bridging the gaps. And then of course the second cameo of that episode was Saw Gerrera, which is always cool to see. I'm not the biggest Saw guy. I think he's kind of a jerk, especially in Rebels, but hey, it's a Star Wars cameo and I'll take it. And then the third episode, I will be talking about spoilers here, so if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go watch it. It was really cool. Diving into the third episode, the very first scene where they're flying through hyperspace and they kind of land on that mystery planet, I was getting some really strong Empire Strikes Back vibes, like when they're inside the Exogorth, the big space slug in the asteroid, and they all get out with the masks and they're kind of looking around trying to fix up the ship. That was kind of the vibe I was getting from that scene. I thought it was really cool, and I'm glad they included it. And then from there, we get to see, Hunter's his mask get knocks off from that weird little creature thing that stole the power core or whatever, and we see Omega kind of take a stand and do something like kind of heroic, and which was really nice to see because in the previous episode she makes a mistake. So Disney. You're finally catching a hint with your female characters, make mistakes, and then they grow from those mistakes.
Rey Skywalker.
Oh, I don't think so.
And to expand a little bit more on that scene, the weird relationship that Omega had with that creature, she's definitely got some weird abilities going on there. I think it's the Force. I honestly do. Either that, or she's got some sort of animal connection, mutation, or something interesting like that. But I cannot wait to know more about her. I know she's got some sort of weird past or something, but she is super interesting, and I can't wait to know more about Omega. And then the final point is the Elite Squad clones were freaking awesome. I love the way their armor looks, and then Crosshair really just being cold. I mean, just evil. Seeing him kill off those partisans, those members of Saw's group, and with no resentment at all. It just really shows the power of the inhibitor chips and the evilness and grand design of Palpatine's plan as a whole. That's my review of the first 3 Bad Batch episodes. From here on out, I'll be doing weekly reviews per episode. I just kind of forgot about it and got off the train a little bit, but I'll be doing reviews weekly, so stay tuned for those. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always.